Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your heart. What's happening, good people? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, Wright, aka Lolo. That's right, coming to you live and direct from Cleveland, Ohio, where we got 40 degrees, y'all. That's right. We're feeling pretty cool. And y'all, I know, don't hate. Don't we see that sunshine? I got the little light shining all on me. And so y'all know who that is right over there, right? It's the one and only Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle. And this the pot. Let me tell you something. This is, I know y'all like Kilolo. I know. But this podcast tonight, when I tell y'all, this is the dumbest, and I do mean the dumbest shit that people have said about black hair is going to be this synthetic hair cancer scare. Now, it's the topic for tonight, and I know what you guys are saying. Ladosha, you are not a researcher. You're nothing about cancer. It's true. Listen, I'm going to tell the truth to shame the devil. I don't know anything about this when it comes to research. And no, I know I look like a doctor. Now, nobody hit the thumbs up button when I said that. I don't look like a doctor. They're like, well, anywho, I know I'm not a doctor, but we have to talk about this topic tonight. We are like 147 episodes in. Welcome everybody to the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel, Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, Instagram Live. We live on all except I'm gonna get us on TikTok. I'm gonna figure out how to put my camera back there and get us on TikTok. Though somebody told me, "What's up, Slay Babe? What's up, Mahone? Melody? My I'm gonna mess it up. What's up, Miss Melody? How about I say it like that over on Instagram? How you guys doing?" But they said if we were on Instagram, they would flag the French toast out of us because we use too much profanity and all this. I didn't know they did all that. Yeah. Well, you know what? They are strict over on TikTok. You got to be really careful. They flagged me a couple times.
Too many podcasts.
Yeah, yes. Oh yeah, TikTok will get on you. What's up? What's up, Kay? How you doing? Live, work, clean. Our Canadian babe. What's happening? What's up, Sandra? We see you, our virtual co-host is rocking out. We got Trish, the natural Trish. You're gonna love this one tonight. It's gonna be good. We got LB. I know I saw Weekay, our virtual co-host. There she is, Weekay. What it do, boo? We got you and Sandra holding it down for us. Now I hope you guys can hold it down, Sandra and Weekay, because it's gonna be like, I hate to use this song, but it's getting hot in her. Before all of that, you know, Nelly, she said, don't use that. Okay, we gotta say something else. We gonna say, wait a minute. We will rock you. That's what's going down tonight. We're gonna rock you guys' mind about the topic of synthetic hair being linked to cancer. Oh snap! It's my god sister in the chat. What's up, we? I should have put a hand clap together. Y'all just don't understand when the family come through. Y'all got to show out when your family come on through. She up in Jersey getting it in. Hold on, Ray. Hold on. That my sister. That my sister. That my sister. She's also an excellent chef and an excellent sister. So
Really?
what's happening? Yes. What's up? When Rita come through, you know you must be doing something. Ain't that right? Y'all put them hands together for my little sister. She said, "Hey, sisters." All right. Okay. So this is gonna be good. But before we get to the build, I still kind of I have to. I know we shouldn't, but I still want to kind of go over that Zelensky situation. I just want to just say one thing. Just let me just get this one thing out. Is it me? See, I grew up, I was bullied a lot. I mean, bullied from elementary school all the way through high school. I was literally bullied all the time. Okay. And I know the feeling when somebody asked you, what kind of suit is that you got on? I knew right then and there. Did he do I got a meeting in the ladies' room on national TV? Did he go black? Did they go like real ghetto? Or was that me? That was the ultimate mean
Embarrassment.
girls move. When you ask somebody, what do you have on? You know you're about to whip that. You setting them up. So that's just my take on it. They bullied the man. And they said, well, he was disrespectful when he said, you don't know Putin. I mean, you talk about Putin that got, put the poison in the man's underwear. I mean, this guy's crazy.
Well, the moment he said, I allowed you to be a tough guy on somebody I want you to surrender to.
Oh.
Does that make sense? Does that wait a minute. Kilola, because you are somehow over here, I'm allowing you to be a tough guy.
You are?
But I want you to surrender to the other guy. Does that make sense?
Here's my thing. That makes no sense. Now let's just say this, because Cheryl been acknowledging me up. Okay, we're not going to pretend like the United States it's a bunch of angels. Okay, we know Putin has every right to protect his territory. Don't get it twisted. I don't know the man, but
now, of course, now you got to give that context.
Okay, they encroaching. Go ahead, break it down.
No, American people do not know that side. They think that Putin just got up one day and just
went into Ukraine and just
and wanted to
drop the bomb,
spend a bunch of money, kill people. That is, you know what I mean? So that is kind of, and like I said, this is the situation, y'all.
Break it down for him.
A man is getting divorced and he's already cheated. So he's got a girlfriend. Okay. The girlfriend is Ukraine. The wife is Russia.
Okay.
Okay. The wife got the house in the divorce. But the husband told the girlfriend she could move in.
So President Putin, no.
President Putin's the wife.
Okay.
She's entitled to the house.
Yes, she is.
So she has the moral high ground here.
Okay.
At the end of the day,
that's her house. She was told it was her. Okay.
That's treaty,
Russia belongs. That's her Russian house.
Russia wants to be, and then she wants also, let's just say if he says, well, no, you can't move in, but you can stay in my garage. Well, because of the years of the United States being anti-Russia, the wife don't want the future girlfriend to be that close to her. Come on
now, Ukraine, get out my Russian house.
Right. The point is, if you are going to align yourself with the United States, and the United States has been historical anti-Russia, that don't want you that close. just like they didn't want Russia that close in cahoots with Cuba.
All right, the missiles.
Don't want to be on they shores. The point of the matter is, I think the American people has half of the story, but at the same time, but I will agree, and I think we all agree, that Ukraine is innocent in this regard. And I think going to war with Ukraine is more about the relationship with Russia and United States,
Right,
more than it is about Ukraine.
right. I think America and America's attempt.
We're the
Right.
one keeping this big bag boogeyman
Right.
Russia thing,
Yeah.
propaganda going, and not humanizing Russians. We're not humanizing Russians.
Right.
All they're saying is, hey, don't infringe over here. Ukraine has to stay neutral, but the United States wants something for Ukraine, so they can't stay neutral. If the United States takes it, we're the one that needs to take a position to say, hey, why don't you stay sovereign and separate and neutral? We can't be in bed together, because at that point, that is an existential threat to Russia.
Right.
Because of the history.
Right. I just feel like they should, like, I'm like you, Trish, you know, your grandparents tell you how to act in front of company. That just wasn't the place to have that conversation because of the interest.
Oh, it was all for TV. He said it.
Oh yeah, he said it. You know, the little punk bag sissy dog. That's right. I said it.
Him and
sissy, he a dog. Because real men just don't get down like that. Though I am interested.
And Zelensky is a different kind of leader with a different kind of culture.
Right, I think he was just right. He was kind of duped into doing some things, you know, that he shouldn't have been doing, and got himself into some situations messing around with the United States, because the United States be on some gangster, you know. Anywho, we digress a little bit, but this topic tonight is a serious digression. I just had to get that. Get it out. That bully. I mean, you know, you said you were bullied too, LaWanda.
It was
yeah. I just feel like if you got something to say to me, you know, say it to my face. Don't try to, you know, front on me in front of. I mean, anywho,
it was horrible.
It was just ratchet. It was just ghetto, you know. And I see all my little friends like, well, you know, shut up, because if somebody talk to y'all like that, y'all go Karen in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But
it was all TV. It was rude.
Yeah.
It was so American. We don't have social matters or social graces. We don't know how. That was that all-American kind of white, red, white, and blue bombast.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like going backwards. You know, why you want to keep going back to that same old? Anywho, well, Zelensky, you know what they say: all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? So you know, all white people don't act like that. But one thing I will say now, you know, wasn't none of us sitting up there. I'm just saying now, this ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, we the stepchildren of the country, so don't nobody kidding about us. And they trying to get us back on the plantation. But anywho, so Zelensky, me and Cheryl, we ain't got nothing to do with that, okay? Protect your country. Do what you need to do, boo. Putin, you know, stay on out the bed and take care of your peoples, all right? But tonight is the night, I'm sorry, that we're going to talk about synthetic hair being linked to cancer. I went to YouTube. I went to TikTok and pulled some clips. I'm not quite sure you guys are aware, but there is a group. It's a nonprofit organization. And it is called Consumer Reports. And I'm just going to bring them up. I didn't want to, I started to use some of their footage, but I didn't know how the whole flag thing. But so anyway, I got some stuff off of TikTok. I wasn't quite sure to be on the safe side, since everybody want to cut your channel off. And we try to get to 3,000 followers. So by the way, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. So anyhow, if you go over to YouTube, you'll check them out. They're all on social media. And so this is a nonprofit organization. They've been around for almost a quarter of a century, I believe. Consumer Reports. And so they are like the watchdogs over, you know, food and hair and all, you know, makeup and things of that nature, toys, you know, things like that. And so they're the official watchdogs. And this is the nonprofit organization that is pushing for this synthetic hair to be under further inspection. So I know a lot of people wear wigs. I know a lot of people do these things called protective styles. They like to embellish a ponytail, put some on there, put some rollers in the microwave. Y'all remember that back? Remember that show? They put the rollers, put the hair in the microwave. Some of you guys added to your children's hair because kids want some long braids, some French braids. And so you guys add some hair. So embellishment is the name of the game when it comes to braids and locks and all that other good stuff. And you can't really use human hair because it does the same thing that it does on your head. It doesn't last as long. Okay. And we know they have alternatives, organic, resins and things of that nature. But the most popular products to do this embellishment is going to be your synthetic hair. And so the concern starts off with this thing called volatile organic compounds, right, Cheryl? And the volatile organic compound that they are concerned with the most is this one called polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride. Now, y'all know Cheryl's so smart, right? She checked me and asked me, do you even know what polyvinyl chloride is? And I was like, of course not. I got blonde in my hair. Shut up. I can talk about it. So Cheryl, let's ask the chat, right? Do they know what polyvinyl chloride is? All right. So let's see, because Cheryl's going to let us know what polyvinyl chloride is. So this is what affordable or cheap, if whatever word you want to use, synthetic hair is made out of. And while you guys are, looking for the answer, if you know what polyvinyl chloride is, I'm going to show you everybody like I'm here to learn. I'm with y'all. I never heard of it either. But let me show you a little video. Cheryl sent this to me. And here's a guy messing around with some polyvinyl chloride. But Cheryl is going to tell you what it is. Feel free, guys. The more you interact with us, we can get into the algorithms and get really good, credible information out when it comes to the dumbest shit that people say about Afro hair. So we're going to show you a clip of this gentleman playing around with some polyvinyl chloride, and this is the volatile organic compound or something. This is the ingredient that they're concerned with the most. So here it is right here.
How cheap wigs are being made, guys. Let's learn how synthetic wigs are being made, guys. So it is said that synthetic wigs are usually gotten from acrylics, polyester, or a blend of materials, guys. Take a look at this. You see how it is looking as it has been melted and dissolved. Take a look at what this man is doing, guys. You see how he is basically going in and, bringing out all the strands. I can imagine the quantity of hairs that this particular product will generate, guys. This is going to be a lot of hairs, because if he's basically doing this and look at the quantity inside the pan, wow, he's going to make a lot of synthetic hairs from this, guys. But take a look at the hair, take a look at the hair, take a look at the hair. Wow, this is to all those cheap hairs you usually buy. This is how it is usually made, guys. Wow, this is
all right. So there you have it. Some a mixture of some poly stuff and whatever. But the main ingredient that synthetic hair, braiding hair, pre-stretched hair, and all the colors is made out of is this stuff called PVC. So Cheryl, can you, it's in the chat over on Instagram. We have, again, Mahona Melody, Slay Bay, Jordan's mom. What's up? I see you, Mika Pearson. How you doing?
What's up, y'all?
1720 Health. What's going on, everybody over here? So in the chat, no one knows what PVC really is. Okay. Yeah, that is a real video. Yeah, that video is real. And no one has ever heard of it. But Cheryl, you say, yes, we have, correct?
Of course you have.
Y'all better get ready for this.
Okay, now, so you guys interact with PVC every day. Every day.
I was disagreeing, guys. I was disagreeing with her. I was being difficult. Like, Cheryl, the average person does not know. She was like, yes, you do. And I was like,
okay. So if you were to put up Google PVC bottles.
All right. Let's see. I see you down there, live, work, clean. Let's put up some you said PVC bottles. All right. PVC bottles. OTTLES. All right, here we go. PVC bottles. Let me get some images. Oh, okay. I have some images here for you, Cheryl. So Cheryl says share the screen. Here we go. So we see already that we see this all the time.
Okay, they come in cobalt blue.
Okay, there you go.
Amber. They come in white. They come in, it's the more squeezable, but they do have the high density PE, PVC, and they got all types of plastic materials that you can buy. Okay, that's PVC. That's what your hair is made out of.
Your hair is made.
Right. You put your mouth up to it. You drink out of it. You buy your water in it. Your pipes are made out of PVC. Your hot water goes through it. Okay. You brush your teeth with it.
Our toothbrushes is made out of PVC?
The handle. You put it in your mouth.
Oh, what you say? Y'all hear that? You guys hear the plumber say PVC pipes? Yeah, sure. Nobody brings it to you.
I don't know. I don't see what the problem is. And that goes into your skin. It goes into your hair. It goes into your body. Those PVC pipes are in the salons. They're in the barbershops. They're in the hospitals. You drink everything. They're in the restaurants you eat at. Every time you get takeout, your food is in PVC. You get plastic forks. You put that in your mouth. And then you eat hot food with it. You heat. My issue with our lack of understanding, the lenses of your glasses are made out of PVC. Your eyewear is PVC. Your buttons.
You breaking our feelings. You're going a little bit too ham now. Dang, Cheryl. What our glasses and are made out of PVC?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, your shoestrings, your combs, your brushes.
Oh my gosh. Everything is made out of PVC?
It's a very low impact, and the less glass you have, and the more styrene there's something in, you get more glass. The issue is that's why some of the health people we're talking about don't leave your water bottles in your car. Don't let them get heat up. Don't put them in the sun.
I remember that.
So all of these things is, if you want a bottle that looks like glass, right? But you don't want it to be glass, you have a PVC bottle.
And only the Hair Oracle would have a PVC, fresh, unused PVC bottle in her possession. Let's give it up. That's somebody that's dedicated to the cause, because I might have to go to my pipes and pull out some PVC. So y'all put your hands together again. Welcome to 147 episodes of the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. And we are talking about synthetic hair. And is it truly linked to cancer?
Okay, well.
All right. So now let's get into the meat of it. So the first question, there you go. She's showing off, y'all. She's showing off. Okay, so the first question they want to know is, how do we get here? So let me show a video, And we're going to talk about now they're saying I got to set it up real good, okay, before we do that. So here is the alarm, okay? You ready, Trish? You guys are going to love this. It's all now this one is truly almost viral. So here it is. They say, here we go.
It looks like silk press season is going to have to last a little bit longer because apparently braiding hair is. It looks like silk press season is going to have to last a little bit longer because apparently braiding hair is causing cancer. And shout out to Consumer Reports because they put your favorite braiding hair to the test. Mine too, friend.
Our latest investigation found carcinogens in all 10 products of artificial braiding hair that we tested. Beauty products such as synthetic braiding hair are largely unregulated, and some ingredients are not required to be listed on the package.
Now, Consumer Reports stated that they had tested these 10 braiding hair companies, the most popular ones. Not Shake and Go. I don't think I ever heard of that one. But they tested these 10. And Magic Fingers and Sensational were the two biggest offenders in having carcinogens in their braiding hair. Now, I saw a lot of people in the comments saying that it affects just the person getting the braids, but no, it also affects the hair braider, the person who's actually touching this hair, who's touching the hair just as much as the person getting it installed. Now, after they reached out to Sensational, they put out this statement and said, "We unequivocally stand by the safety of Sensational products, and our company urges consumers to continue to confidently use Sensational products." And then they reached out to Magic Fingers because the other companies didn't have a statement, and Magic Fingers said, "We strongly stand by the safety of our products and the quality."
All right, so there you have it. So there you go, Trish. So that is what the Consumer Report is pretty much saying, that they tested 10 of the most popular sold synthetic braiding hair. And so their research so far has found 10 carcinogens and a host of other concernable ingredients. I mean, you wouldn't call them ingredients, but resins or whatever that they use to create these microfibers that ends up being called synthetic hair. So let's start off with the research. Now, Cheryl, I want you to take it away with the research, but I'm gonna start off with here you go. The same stuff they said with the relaxers. It's some of them same chemicals that they are saying that was in the relaxers. They are now saying it is also in the synthetic hair. So what do you say about the research conducted by a 75-year-old nonprofit organization called Consumer Reports? Now, they do have a video here on YouTube. I'm going to drop it so you guys can see it. So Cheryl, take it away about the research used to test 10 different brands of commonly used synthetic hair to do.
From my knowledge, it was oral consumption. Was I right?
What you mean, oral consumption?
It was a test on if you ingested it. No, that is basically because that's the only way you would come in contact with it. Right? Now,
so wait. So are you telling us right here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel that the dumbest shit people have said about testing research on synthetic hair is that the methodology they used was if you consume these toxins and these but you don't eat hair.
Right. The connection with, let's say, if the toxins, now you have to remember, there is no such thing as synthetic hair. Okay.
Wait a minute. Pause. Did y'all hear that? I got to do it. She said there is no such thing as synthetic hair.
What you talking about, Will?
Cheryl.
Now let me say it. Now, because it is plastic that mimics, that appears like hair. Because to say that it is just costume. It's almost like using threads of silk to put in a wig but it's actually a fabric. You don't call that synthetic hair.
What? Say that again. I missed the first
So
part.
synthetic hair is a misnomer. Okay. We know that because at the end of the day, we would not call that hair per se. We know Barbie dolls and dolls, really, that hair is not human. It doesn't have, but we say synthetic hair as if we don't know it's plastic. Does that make sense? Now, maybe we need another word, but my point is, so if we understood that it is in and of itself already plastic and not hair, then we would expect to find chemicals. And if you test it, okay, you're going to find things that make
the plastic,
and it's not for consumption.
Yeah, you don't eat plastic now.
You don't eat plastic. The water bottle is not made for you to eat, though it's water in your bottle. You cannot eat the plastic because you do not tell your child eat your Legos, because those
toys,
chemicals that are in.
Oh, I got it. I think I'm getting it now. You know, when you was a kid for Christmas and you was on welfare and your mama couldn't afford no real Barbie house, so she got you that real plastic, you know, that kitchen set, and you be trying to bite, you know, or your grandma had that fake plastic kit, you know, them great. Why y'all acting like y'all not from the hood? And she had them plastic fruit. So that was called plastic fruit. They were called toy groceries. You didn't really say synthetic, you know, fruit, and think that you can. Nobody does it like the hair oracle.
So sometimes it's just a misnomer, because when we think that it, for some reason, when we say hair, then something happened to the hair to make it toxic. No, it's not hair.
Now, let me just show you what they are saying. Okay, look at this, to Cheryl's point. And the investigators found cancer in. I had to do it because I know y'all think Cheryl and I, like, you know, y'all not the gatekeepers. We're not saying we're the gatekeepers. We are the truth tellers. And to Cheryl's point, people act a fool over this hair weave. Like, I didn't even realize until Cheryl told me yesterday that even the quote unquote human hair that, you know, people are buying, that has synthetic hair in it too. And we'll go a little bit more into the reason why, but I don't mess around with it. So I believe when people say they're buying human hair, they're getting real human hair. And Cheryl was like,
no, you had a human hair wig, but then you'll come back and say 100% human. So 100% implies that there was an 80 or a 30 or a blend or a yak blend. Okay. So my point is, in that there was some reason why we would say, oh my God, I don't know, I put this curling iron on this wig and I melted some of that. So we do have the blend. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just showing you that they're saying again on here, this is another one where this person feels the same thing. There it is, cancerous braiding hair. And this is why, see, you know, I'm a little bit concerned. I would love to get that organization, you know, to come onto the podcast. I actually reached out to them via Instagram to see if we can get them to come on and explain this research and all these methodologies that people don't want to talk about, because it's scaring the public. And the public is, you know, like me, I don't know this stuff either. No, though I do realize that synthetic hair cannot have cancer in it. there are people who believe this, and these are real people. This ain't people that these are real live TikTok accounts. These are not bots, okay? Investigators found cancer in synthetic braiding hair. And
As if cancer is a substance.
yeah, and it
You see
might
how
seem
she put that in terms of, and maybe she actually believes it, but you guys know the little packages that come in your food to keep it fresh and preserved. You guys never wanted to check that?
no.
Like things you guys put in your mouth. I guess as long as white people don't say it, you guys don't really have a problem with
I know I see it in our shoes.
What?
We put it on our feet, you know.
But what?
You know,
Go-
those little plastic stuff that's in your shoes, like it's in your purses, it's in everything. I mean,
Right.
we come into contact with this stuff, okay? The thing that I would like to ask them, and please don't, though, I'm not trying to be insulting like JD and the idiot in chief. But wouldn't you think that by now, when it comes to the relaxers and the synthetic hair, because they're saying that all of this stuff is so carcinogenic, wouldn't we hear something about the people who work and make this stuff? Like, wouldn't they be having cancer? Like people who manufacture, you know,
Now, they didn't say it did. They said carcinogens. Now,
okay.
I would, beg to differ in terms of even lead and arsenic. They found other things, but once you push them to answer in terms of the toxic, because we remember we went over toxic and we went over hazardous and we went over poisonous. Remember we went through all of that, okay? And so you would have to, and especially in today's administration where they want to fire everybody, right? As in the government. But this particular research firm is not considering the use of it. They're not considering the use of it because they did not test the number one source of PVC, which is drinking water. So they're not worried about your consumption in terms of swallowing it. They are trying to go viral and get more clients so they can have more business.
Wow.
This
Did y'all hear that? Hit the thumbs up button. Did you guys hear what she just said? The reason why this particular nonprofit organization is doing this is because they're trying to go viral. They need to get some more clients to do some more research, to which I say,
ain't nobody got time for that.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. The guy that was just in that video, he don't look like he went to college.
Oh, I looked him up. His name is Jerome something. Yeah, he's Jerome somebody. He has a PhD, so he's all on LinkedIn. You can go check him out. I'll get his name and drop it in the chat. But this particular podcast, which was they were the guests on it, they had 3 angles. So the first angle we kind of went through, which is the research, and now you guys can see that right here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel, the dumbest shit that people say about Black hair podcast. Cheryl just broke down to you the methodology that they use to test these synthetic hairs to see if they were toxic. Is around consuming. I question, what about the people who work and manufacture this stuff? I would love to hear what they have to say about that.
And let me just say this. Do you know the billions of dollars that most people would have to do to take their stuff out of this bottle?
And put it in what would be the alternative?
Right. And they have the codes at the bottom. So
okay. What's up? What's up? We got our other Canadian babe in the house representing the beauty culturalist of Canada, Miss Samantha Dixon Slaughter. So wonderful to see you. So we got some questions for you, some comments here. All right. So number one, I think having more research to shed light on these claims wouldn't be a bad idea, though. So what type of research could be used to see if this stuff, if braiding the hair, on your hair is bad?
Well, let me just say this. As I've been a consultant for years, and one of the things that I would like us to do as professionals is when we hear of studies of toxicity, okay, we have to use, in our world, like me and Ladosha's world, okay, we have to be professional enough to ask questions on consumers' behalf. Okay, that's number one. Number two, when you go forward and do not check in with industrial boards and organizations, and thus, so we can check your research, I am already going to tell you that's a red flag. Now, what is it about? And let me just say this. I understand that we have a cultural fear that they're out to get us in every aspect.
Yeah. LaWanda put that in the chat. She did.
I understand, and how these videos, they would have young men and other women coming on talking about they are coming after us, they want to stop us, and all the fear mongering. I understand that. The problem is that they would have had you at the drinking water. You would be dead. You wouldn't you wouldn't even be here.
So are you saying to V2B 2010 that research on that hair is really not even necessary, given?
What I am saying is that the thousands and hundreds of thousands of women who have had anaphylaxis reactions, allergic reactions, sore scalps, as a hairstyle professional, okay, because you can go to, let's say, outside and rub yourself against a plant, and all of a sudden your eyes are swollen.
All right.
Okay, that is the body's release of histamine.
Okay.
In that, what they are saying, there is nothing in the the hair in and of itself, because if this is PV and I did this and then you had the hair, maybe as a professional I would ask about the dye. Okay,
so you're saying use some deductive reasoning and what you want to look at into the hair, versus, because her question is, would it be a bad idea to look into this hair situation? And you're saying it's not the hair that they should look into, is what they're putting on.
Well, I have to use the symptom to match with what the client is. I can't jump over and get sensationalized, because I'm a professional. I can't get sensationalized with a customer.
So let's ask the question then. With that being said, how about you guys, since the question that V2B 2010 is asking, I think having more research to shed light on these claims would not be a bad idea. What is it about the synthetic hair that concerns you? How about you guys drop that in the chat? And because Cheryl is saying, repeat that again, Cheryl, I don't want to mess it up. So answer that. What are your concerns about synthetic hair that makes you want to say, let's do some research on it? Because they didn't say that. Okay. Right, well, why did they even research it in the first place? But go ahead.
Well, the thing is that when you had the symptom and you went to the dermatologist, or you went to you're back to your braider, right? Your symptom has to be to something that happened in the hairstyle,
not the hair.
Not the hair, because you don't have a connection with the hair. Now, if you could have some kind of reaction if the texture of the hair doesn't agree with you or the dye that they used in it, right? Because as you can see, that resin is black. And so usually there is a substance process to get the resin a certain particular color. But once it is at safe levels to be cosmetically used, doesn't go in your mouth, okay? You don't get it in some way, shape, or form or fashion. Now, if you're burning the tips or doing something else and causing the what we call vapors, well then, like anything, like tire making, your tires, rubber, or making any other substance, making your children's toys,
flat ironing hair.
You know what I mean? The point here is that usually in the cases of some of the irritation that I do hear about is either the color that or the dye in the resin, or the fact that your hair was done too tight and too restrictive in all of the subsequent waxes and alcohols that you guys are using.
Okay, we're going to get to that part a little bit later. But so to answer that question, you would say, yes, they could do research, but understand what they're doing research on when it comes to
what research. Because at the end of the day, if you have a research firm all of a sudden getting all kinds of PR, public relations, promotions, and they are built, that it's called a marketing ploy. Now,
all right, okay,
when they find other things, now all of a sudden they have all of these PR and they're on TV and they're getting all of these, a lot of attention, and they're trying to publicize their research firm.
Right. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to go to the next clip, but before we do that, we have Wike and we have Sandra, our virtual co-host. They are saying now is a good time to do what Cheryl is going to ask you to do, and that is pump me on, pump me on. All right, 147 episode in, and we are answering the question, synthetic hair linked to cancer. So far, we're like, well, we, probably not, given how much PVC that we have access to that's already deemed to be safe. So here is another clip about, I think this one here is on Oh no, is this one? Oh, here we go.
Now, a new investigation by Consumer Reports is raising alarming questions about the safety of synthetic braiding hair. 10 popular synthetic braiding hair products were tested. The results are troubling. Every sample contained carcinogens, chemicals that may cause cancer.
3 of the samples tested positive for benzene, a carcinogen that is highly regulated and discouraged for use in laboratories because of the potential to cause cancer.
Now, a new investigation by Consumer Reports is raising alarming questions about the safety of synthetic braiding hair.
He sounds very credible. That's James Rogers. He is on LinkedIn. He's got that nice radio voice, and he's got his PVC glasses that he's wearing. I'm sure those are PVC. So we come into PVC a lot. So that's what we have to say about that. Now, this caniculon hair is raising some more alarms, and we're going to answer some questions in the chat. They're kind of coming in now. So don't forget, guys, it would be really nice if you guys could just move your little finger up and hit that thumbs up button. And so the question right now about caniculon, they're saying this stuff should actually even be illegal. Here we go.
Caniculon hair should be illegal. Caniculon hair is made with the chemical acrylonitrile and vinyl chloride. Both substances are toxic, causing reproductive cancers, cysts, liver damage, and anxiety. Braiders burn or dip caniculon hair in hot water when styling, which releases these toxic fumes into the air, and unless the braider is wearing a gas mask and gloves, they breathe in these fumes, which lodge into their lungs, which can lead to tumors and reduced lung function. Your risk is especially increased if you braid hair or get braids while pregnant, as the chemicals in caniculon hair can cause developmental issues in offspring. Is this hairstyle worth the deadly health hazards?
Cope. Jesus. He had me scared. He had the corn up there, like corn, they use corn to make these two artificial ingredients that can we got a question. Hold on. I think the questions are going to help. Let's start with where you go. Here you go. So here is Trish. I've been waiting to put this one up. So they're saying if you consume it orally, so nobody's eating hair. This is true, but she says, well, what about can it be absorbed through the skin? Like if the hair touches you, if it's on your back, or if you're intertwining it, the friction, is that gonna permeate and somehow get into your skin? And the breathing part about it getting into your lungs and birth defects and they had the man with the mask on braiding hair like it was. Well, that was just.
But Black women have not even managed to even work out endocrine disrupting yet.
Meaning, hold on now, break it down.
Black women have not even deciphered. Black women don't even know what cancer is. No one, because they don't. The United States does not even talk about. They don't even talk about how the interaction with the immune system. They don't interact with knowledge. What they end up doing is they'll say these chemicals. Okay, so let's back it up. They will not make scares about what they don't want you to do. And then they won't say, but these chemicals are found in other things.
Elementary, my dear Watson. Did y'all hear that?
And so with those other things, don't look at the other things because we want to sell those things to you. Don't look at those. We only want to use the sensationalism on shit most things white people don't sell to you.
So would Lawana's statement be right that this is a way that they're coming after us? Isn't that right, Lawana? So LB said maybe they're just trying to shut them down, to shut them down.
What if they just want to make money off of you because they know that at the end of the day you react to sensationalism? Why can't it just be that? They know that you are probably the group that has more of the fear trigger and you won't ask the right questions. And they can just say it.
And we gonna fall for the okie doke. Y'all gotta be like Ice Cube.
That could be it. Because at the end of the day, you guys realize that there's just as much toxicity in men's products, but they rarely even scare men.
Right, but they, it's almost viral, guys. You might think it's kind of funny.
Right. At the end of the day, so much men, they interact with plastics. Okay? They interact with a whole lot, but they don't do that.
They don't do that. They don't talk about them prophylactics and all them sex toys and all that. They don't scare you with those things, And
let me just say this. Don't be so pompous to think that you're so that important that it alleviates you from reading. Their lack of, they know you will not, they know that you will just get scared. And rightfully so. Black women have a trust factor. I understand the trust factor is there. We have a lot of reasons to be, spooked. But the point is, we have to be mobile about our spook because we could be doing something else because, when they say, look over here, you already know they're doing it over here.
Well, what about this from Misha? Is it the synthetic hair or are there chemicals being applied to the synthetic hair that's being transferred?
Yeah, I want to make sure nothing's being transferred. They didn't prove things being transferred.
Okay.
Because you put a plastic water bottle up to your mouth and you have never questioned anything being transferred.
Is this plastic cup here, my Afro cup, is this probably made out of
turn it on, turn it over, and so you can figure out, what
I got my Kool-Aid in there, guys.
But my
okay.
point is that they didn't say it causes. They say they cause carcinogens. Now, let me just say this to you. If I have something that has potential and it's only potential at 10, but I only put 1 in it, but then the news will say the 1 through 10 is carcinogenic. But what if it's only toxic at 10? I left that out for you. And so when I tell the news story and I tell it, okay, and I will just say carcinogen, because at the end of the day, you guys have used, essential oils are toxic to you. Essential oils are toxic if you eat them.
Now, let me just say this. Y'all know how we be like, we talked about propylene glycol, right? That it was a sudsing agent. So she said, look on the bottom and see what it's made out of. Now, this is my princess cup that I bought for my little niece, Fatu baby, right? Y'all know Fatu baby. So Cheryl said, look on the bottom and see what it's made out of. I know you guys probably is not going to be able to see it, but it has the PPP, which is propylene. I hope you guys are getting what Cheryl is saying. We got to be more careful out here with falling for the okie doke. Speak to allergic reactions.
It's not the fact that we're falling for it. What I am saying to you is that when they know we're hyper focused on our hair, but I want to scare you for the impact as it's going to have for my business. But I don't want to scare white girls because they wear just as much synthetic hair than you do. But they never put white women in it because they're not trying to scare white women.
Right. And I asked that question too. Why do they act like this is just a black thing? Okay. We're going to move the needle here.
Because we eat it up. Black women eat it up because of the historical fear thing, the trust factor. They know we are going to feel specialized and they're coming after us. We have got to stop that.
All right. So the accountability, because that was 3 themes that they were talking about on the Consumer Report. And again, I will drop the link so you guys can watch it. Was about research, accountability. So we're already letting you guys know that the accountability is going to fall into your hands, and understand that a lot of this is a money grab move with an effort, a concerted effort, that is, to get more clients for their business, to do more research. So it's the firms that you want to be holding accountable, along with your companies. If you do have concerns, all business wants to hear from their consumers. So
you don't even have to hold anybody accountable. Just don't use it. Stop using it. They don't have to change their whole program for black women. Just stop using it.
Now hold on, wait a minute. I see you, Yate. Hold on, Yate. So that the last point that they talked about was culture. Dad, Yate, where your comment go? No, Yate. Oh, here it go. Woo. All right. I guess we better embrace our natural hair and celebrate our real roots. And then we got Dr. Spritz saying he broke out from synthetic hair when he wore braids, so he uses yarn. Okay, so let's talk about this whole cultural aspect of it. All right, let me just show Spritz comment. What's up, Dr. Spritz? He said, I broke out from synthetic hair when he wore braids, so he uses yarn. And then that was the thing. So in this interview that was coming up was this whole thing of the concern about children and protective styles. So I know you talked about the technique and the pulling and the products. So let's go back to that. What's up, weekend? And let's look at Yate's point of view. You just said don't use it, but parents are like, really, Cheryl, I have 4 daughters. I cannot be doing all this braiding, yada, 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 about all these products. So I want to braid their hair down with some artificial hair. It's going to last longer. And, this is why I'm doing this, Yate. I embrace my child's natural hair. I love it. But sometimes I just have to add something to it to make it last a little bit longer so that I can do the things that I need to do in modern day times. So what would you say? That they just don't have the time, and the protective hairstyles. The natural hair movement has pushed the protective style narrative, and you and Yate, you said don't buy it, and Yate is in the chat saying embrace your natural hair and celebrate your real roots. So what about people?
Everybody don't break out. Everybody's not having a problem.
Right, but we're saying to the people who are, if you're saying don't wear it, wear your hair. But they're saying, I would, but I can't do my kid's hair. Right. I want to put this in my child's hair.
Right. If you are concerned with toxicity in the hair, right? Or because, of course, your liver, I don't know how many of you guys have checked your liver toxicity lately. I don't think any of you guys are worried about that. But at the end of the day, well, then why don't you, the closest to it getting into your liver and the closest getting into your bloodstream
lungs and your lungs,
right, is for you to stop using these and stop drinking water out of them. Why don't you switch to glass? Just switch to glass.
So the bulk of the exposure to these is not in the hair. So so are you saying, okay, guys, so relax. An allergic reaction, you just won't know.
Now,
let me just talk about that a little bit.
The reason why you know is because, okay, let's say how many ingredients did they find? How many ingredients did they find? And how many of those ingredients do you think that they're in other things?
Yeah.
But why they focus on hair is so bizarre.
That's what
it's not an item. Yes, not a lot, and not every Black woman uses it. But for some reason, and white women use it, Asian women use it, Indian women use it, for some reason. Okay, and this is what we need to talk about. Why are we the golden calf that everybody can jump their research and dump it in our lap?
And we just accept it,
And maybe that is one of the reasons why they do. Because it will glow up and blow up, and it will get into the news cycle, and it gets into our conversation groups, and it gets into podcasts like this, and then they start building their credibility built on the fact that, because if I said we found carcinogens, I would name them, but I don't want to name them. Right? Because I know that they're in this other shit that I do interact with more, that does have a very high exposure and high chance that it may get into. So my whole point is that we need to be able to make heads or tails of the information and not be so susceptible and ready to accept it and then have these conversations, because Lord knows that Black folks and Black women especially need no help in being terrorized.
So what about this, what Trish Nastro is asking? So do you think the whole talcum powder thing was a scare too? What about that one?
Now let me just say this.
Oh, you got to answer the question. Hold on now, Cheryl. Oh, you get into it? Okay.
Yeah.
Put it back up.
The metallics found in talc, and one of the things that I want to say to you we're not saying that things can't be improved. What I am saying to you is why are people dying in 1970 and they didn't die in 1930 and 40 and 50 and 60s, and you're putting it on babies' bottoms and things of that nature. The corporate business
only Cheryl
of taking people out and taking competition out. Why would all of a sudden that you guys can't get with mineral oil? What did mineral oil do to you? All of a sudden, mineral had to be taken out because you had a flux of people, corporate companies and people wanting to sell you essential oils. And then all of essential oils. And then you're going to have now, because at the end of the day, what is the number one carcinogenic thing that happens to people every day? The number one.
What is the number one thing that's carcinogenic that happens to people every single day? What's up, Free Nally at sbcglobal.net and Kay? How y'all doing?
What's up, y'all?
I said what? Look it up.
No, I said what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, what's going on? I'm okay. Come on, y'all. Don't be fair. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Okay. Oh, car fumes. Oh, the radiation from our cell phones. Ooh, that's deep. I'm gonna type in water.
Okay.
Okay. And maybe our clothes.
What carcinogen is in water?
I don't even know. I'm just thinking. You said what we consume. I don't know. Pollution.
Lead.
We got some answers. Okay.
Right. But mercury. Right.
All right. So your answers are, you said, what are we consuming every day? That could be.
Right.
So you got some nice answers.
Vegetable oil, corn oil, canola oil. The moment you guys fry it, it becomes carcinogenic. Once you kill the properties, it becomes plastic.
Look, we all like that. Goes our fried chicken. We gonna have Auntie Joy on Thursday. She told me I couldn't have no chicken. I did consume less.
Right, and so you can see and follow when you follow the sensationalism, follow the money. And I'm not saying that these things should not be improved. What I am saying is I don't have to scare my sisters.
Yeah, I don't like the boogeyman
at the brunt of her nerves, her buying choices, her consumer influence, right? While some firm back there is saying, well, yeah, it's found in everything, but we wanted to just have a really powerful story.
Right. And can I add?
And I guarantee you all the toxins are in other things. Right. Probably things that you use more.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to I just want to make a point, and then Cheryl, I would like for you to just expound upon it just a little bit further than I. And that is this whole notion of using these synthetic hairs or braiding hair, or these styles rather, as something that can protect or prolong. Now, I'm just going to say this and I'm going to just be done with it. And if I a little bit vulgar, please forgive me, okay? But a protective style is like akin to protective panties. It don't work that way. The vagina requires maintenance. The mouth requires maintenance. The eyes requires maintenance. The ears requires maintenance. The scalp, your whole skin, is the largest organ of your body. The notion of people in these parenting groups and all of these Black power, African, whatever you want to call it, natural hair gurus, pushing that there is a hairstyle that can last long or in lieu of is absolutely ludicrous. And if professionals could stop pushing the notion that there's a hairstyle that you won't have to do for months I think we're going to see a big improvement and probably less use of the hair for those who just are looking for an alternative. But if you're putting this stuff in your hair and you're leaving it in the name of protection or time, I guarantee you, you're going to have some problems that has nothing to do with the hair.
We have a cultural Achilles heel.
What you talking about, Willis? What that mean?
Yeah, we have a cultural Achilles heel. We want our hairstyles to make our lifestyles better. I'm tired of y'all just start trying to go in there and talking about how much cultural significance these hairstyles give you. I need you to be honest.
Please.
And say, protective hairstyles enhances my life by allowing me to not have to do my hair. The more it disavows me to apply time that I already don't have, or you say you don't have, right? Because you have to remember, and I'm acknowledging that Black women's lives are different, but as much plastic hair as white women use, and they wash their shit from the beginning in the morning, and they be blow dry. The blow dryer in the hotel rooms is not for Black folks. The blow dryer in the hotel room is for the white girls because they do their hair from scratch every freaking day. Every day. Okay? The moment they walk out of the salon, they know they're going to do something to it. And they ain't paid $750 for a color and a cut.
Not Black women. Okay. I paid you $200. I paid you out, and I'm like,
now y'all tell you, we have a cultural Achilles heel. We lie and say it's one thing, but it's actually another. Maybe we're embarrassed. I don't know. That's why we trying to always work it out. We talking to each other, right, Key Lolo? We trying to work it out. However, we have to call, or as Ian Levansant would say, we got to call it what it is, or call a thing a thing. So let's just say that protective hairstyles, if it does not protect the scalp, your eyes, your skin, your the pH of your ear, if it irritates, if it causes, doesn't, what are we protecting? And we have to tell the truth. That's what Afro hair science demands that we do. Right?
Yeah. I think it's time for us to stop pushing the narrative. If we want to help change the narrative on hairstyles that are quote unquote carefree, we just need to stop saying that because it's a lie. Even the Crown Act with this whole, they want to put protective hairstyles in the law. Stop it. Stop it. And I'm not even trying to be mean to, women who have multiple children and daughters and nieces and nephews, blended families that they're taking care of, and they just can't do all of this hair. Our parents did it. My mother did my hair, my sister's hair, my 2 cousins' hair, my other 2 cousins' hair, and my other 2 cousins' hair. That's 8 children that my mom did. That they found a way to make sure all of our hair looks nice. When you look at our family pictures, you're going to be hard pressed to find us looking like Goonie Goo Goo. It's just not going to happen. You have to make the time for your children. The moment you decide to have a child, adopt a child, take on a child, you have to incorporate you doing the child's hair because you are putting the child at risk for a JD Vance to say, or the reporter to say, what you got them clothes on for? You know, why you ain't got no suit on? And the child has to be ready to stand up like Zelensky did. Oh, I ain't know that was part of the. I didn't get the memo that if you fight a war, you put on the suit. You know what I'm saying? We have to build our kids up to be ready. And if you don't comb their hair like you should and get them ready, they're going to be susceptible to two idiots like number 45, JD Vance, and that stupid reporter who asked that stupid question. We have to get our children ready, because in real life, a person don't have to like your hair. Forget racism and all that other stuff. They just don't like the way that you look. And if you're not involved with your children's hair, you're setting them up for failure. We have women that are 35 years old, no concept how to comb their hair. We have men who wear cornrow braids. They can't even put their own hair in a ponytail, don't even know how to take it down, but they can hold their penis. I'm questioning a man who can hold his penis and can't do his hair. I ain't no brother to me. I'm just saying. That's not gonna work. I'm a little concerned about that now.
I'm a little concerned.
I'm a little concerned about a brother who sits between a woman's legs or chair or whatever, and she could do his hair. He could do everything else, but he can't manage that hair. He can't rock with them locks. He don't want to touch them. Y'all got these little boys with all this hair, and you don't allow the little boy to comb the hair. And our salon, oh, he gonna comb his hair. He must know how to navigate himself personally. And hair will truly show you what you are made out of as a human, especially in our culture.
But it's one of the most human but biological matter that you can get. And
she said she heard, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Well, I have heard that it protects the ants from so much manipulation. That has got to be I can't even understand that.
Well, and two things that is concerning with that. You don't want to do your hair. And for some reason, the Y2K generation, this natural hair generation, is obsessed with length. More than the white girl. They're obsessed with length retention. Hair that goes this way, not that way, this way. They are obsessed with length. I don't know if it's just that because somebody told them that it wouldn't grow.
Yeah,
they're obsessed.
This notion of if you put something on top of the ends, you're going to protect it. That has got to be, first of all, your hair is going to come through the braids. Let's just get that.
Right. And let me, why? Have you guys, and because now when I ask this question, I want you to know the only reason why I know it is because Mr. Morrow told me. Okay, so I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer by no means. But the point here is that in terms of microns and nanometers, a one plastic strand is like 100 times heavier than a human keratin fiber. So you take a bunch of them and you're intertwining human keratin with plastic, you have to expect just some of the adverse effects, because at the end of the day, because you have this cultural kind of Achilles heel to leave it in long as a metric meter or yardstick for it lasting or being good, that is where in and of itself where the problem is, right? So go ahead.
Mm-hmm, go ahead. No. Hit it. You hitting it.
Right. And so you want weight to be long. You want the hair to drape long. Then you don't understand that plastic in terms of nanometers are heavy. Okay. You're going to put 10 fibers, You're going to put 20 fibers to 7 human hair fibers braided in
the name of protection.
Right. And then you have too many cultural landmines that you're trying to do, but then you want the best set of outcomes in the whole process.
And can I add one more thing? Can I add one more thing to that? Mm-hmm. And you want white folks to fall for it.
No, white folks ain't falling for it.
They're not falling for it. They know.
They don't terrorize.
When you, like Miss Taylor, when you said protective styles had to be included in the Crown Act, since Black people get sitting home from work for wearing their hair in its natural state, but the Crown Act is incomplete. So you are correct on the end.
No, she's not correct. That's not correct.
She said, but the Crown Act is incomplete in many ways.
Well, it's not just that it's complete. It will.
No, she said incomplete. Incomplete.
I just said that. It is incomplete, okay, because it will never win the lawsuit that you intended in making the firewall for white employers and white school education institutions. It doesn't have the punch.
Right. And can I just squeeze in the Achilles heel? When you say things like protective styles, here it is. Achilles heel is a weakness despite overall strength, which can lead to a downfall. They know locks, added hair is not your natural hair.
It's a hairstyle.
It's a hairstyle. It is contributing to your downfall. It's your strength, a weakness despite overall strength. The hair already is what? Natural. But the minute you start braiding it, embellishing it, it's no longer hair. It's a hair style. Are you guys rocking with us? You take it down a notch when you try to bring it up a notch with a crazy term called
but you're only creating a style to create a lifestyle comfort because you don't have time to do
your instead of just calling it that.
Right.
Call it I don't have time to do my hair braid style. You'd be better off getting a law to protect you for that.
Right.
Than you would.
Because one of the things that's very difficult to tell Y2K natural hair care movement that they fundamentally made a mistake and the politicians made a mistake. At the end of the day, you created protective hairstyles to make politicians and employers and learning institutions somehow accommodate the fact that you've created a lifestyle around this particular thing. But at the end of the day, the language in the Crown Act is not going to protect you from that because at the end of the day, you think you adding a protective hairstyle is going to make you feel more professional, more neat. But the problem is when you go back into 1965 and 4 and 73 and 71 and 75, your ass was wearing afros, afro puffs, afro wigs. You was wearing your hair. So you didn't need to create a protective hairstyle culturally to get accepted. You went and did something dumb that you didn't need to do because at the end of the day, what the hell do you think? At the end of the day, Cicely Tyson, that's all she wore was natural hair. She was an Oscar award-winning actress. So what the hell was she wearing, y'all? What was she wearing? What was hundreds of millions of women wearing between the 1965 and 1980? I mean, it's like, what? What did we need to create that for? Right. And at the end of the day, it was designed to create and to transfer wealth of the cultural retail product and hair and gel and spritz and spray and all of this and shift it to white retail.
And I think that's right. And that's the part that I know people who are caught up in the natural hair movement, you guys are the Achilles heel is like the perfect phrase and term to describe the phenomenon of what's happening with all of you who are so enwrapped into this culture, this cult of natural hair. It truly is. It's a weakness despite overall strength. We already did it. We already and to try to justify in front of people who they got parents too who know that we already did it. So as much as we say these protective hairstyles, they will placate you and they will go along with the go along and say, yes, these are protective hairstyles, but they know, just like we know. And this is what she's saying in the chat, Main Moves Media. Protective styles is a misnomer and a false ideal. Tell the truth according to proof. Let it go. The shit show is over. It's done.
And then not only that, just the whole, as the snowball gets bigger, we've caused now, do you know how many Black women and single mothers and families have wasted thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on lawyers? And
and they wore the wigs with pride. I mean, you think you was gonna tell Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross? My auntie, I don't even really think I ever saw my auntie wore her without her wig unless she was at home. You couldn't shame her with her wig. I mean, why are we even picking on the people who wants to even wear that? Like, you can't be beautiful if you wear a wig all the time. So, here's a funny story, right? Sure, I told you this story. So I told my mom, oh, my feet are so ugly. I said, I just can't stand my feet. They are so. My mother told me, shut the hell up. You got big titties, big ass, big hips, long hair, long eyelash, long fingernails. Shut it up, Ladosha. Let it go. Sometimes a hair is just not a person's best feature that they feel. Nothing to do with you. If they want to wear a wig, they can wear a wig. We don't have to shame them. And that whole Crown Act, it wasn't going to work because they know Cheryl's dad already did it.
And just let me as I finish my point, but let me just say this. I'm asking my people to not start over every 25 years. And I'm asking you guys to be able to pick up. We will never fill wealth gaps. We will never fill information gaps. We will never soothe trust gaps if we keep starting over and making it up as we go. Okay? And I understand that we have issues with cosmetology. I understand that we got issues economically, but the point is, it still doesn't hold us guiltless. Because at the end of the day, when single mothers and single fathers and families are investing into the Crown Act and buying and retaining these lawyers, and the shit cannot win, we cannot afford to make Crown Acts in the legislation. I don't give a shit in the political body. You cannot do it when the Constitution says that dress codes can't exist, because no baby boy with locks or braids, cornrows, whatever he decides to use that is attached to our culture, it doesn't make a difference. If he was a girl, he would be in school. So it's not just cultural, and y'all got to stop that. It is gender. It is other social illnesses that are attached, that lock and encage, and that protect dress codes. The U.S. Supreme Court says that dress codes are constitutional. After that, there is no discussion. I don't know why we sold that dream, that PVC pipe dream.
Right, no pun intended.
Black people. I don't.
And when you look
at the natural hair care world, and us as cosmetologists, we and barbers, we've got to tell our people to, no, there's no little there. And we got to come together and go back to the legislation and fix it.
That's what we have to do. Main Moves Media says the term protective styles got bastardized and taken right out of context. The intention was for folks to find a way to not manipulate their hair to the point of damaging it. And however, it went too far. And there is the Achilles heel again in her sentence. The intention was for folks to find a way to not manipulate their hair to the point of damaging it. There is no such thing.
Well, here's the thing too.
You just can't. Please, Cheryl, take it there. You got to finish that. Why do they think that manipulating the hair that you're damaging it? Where is this coming from? Why? Hair is meant to be manipulated.
Well, because let me say this. Why would you think you do your baby's hair every morning? You send her off to school. You send your baby off to school. Why isn't that manipulation damaging? But when you apply it to yourself, it's damaging.
Make it make sense. I'll wait. Sister, we're going to wait. We'll be right back.
Please, somebody
help
answer.
us. Somebody answer.
Help us. Now, all of a sudden, you can grow your baby's hair. You can grow your son's hair. They 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They fabulous. Hair is absolutely whipping. Well, some reason you manipulate your shit. You got all get out of the post.
Now your hair damage. You got curl pattern damage. You got heat damage. You got protein. They got all kinds of damage. Stop falling for that. If it's on your head, black people, it can't be damaged.
Stop being so obsessed with length.
And little fights, and every time you see
with length,
and one length is, well, why come this hair is here and this hair? Each individual strand grows its own rate.
We already went.
But we got to keep saying it because we got new people in the chat.
Okay,
we have new people that are not familiar with our talking points. Stop believing this. There's no such thing that you can manipulate your hair to the point of damaging it. Now, if you snatch it out, well, that's on you.
Well, but here's the thing. Okay, so maybe 25 years ago, Kilo.
Okay.
Maybe there is a generation of black people.
Maybe okay.
That did not get Afro hair science. They missed the Afro. They missed the curl. They did miss the relaxed area. And there's maybe there is a style gap.
Okay, we'll take it.
Maybe there is, but however, it don't get gapped with they babies. It only gets gapped when they get an adult.
Oh no, it gets gapped by the time they're 10 years old. You're damaging. Yeah, somehow at that right at that puberty, soon as that menstrual cycle or the boys can have an erection, now we're concerned that the hair can be damaged. Every 7 years, baby, you get a whole new head of hair. So whatever happened 7 years ago, guess what? It don't even matter because them strands is long and gone.
Well, and I just
whether you cut it or not, it's gone. It's gone.
Right, because if you guys were in the Afro Science Summit, right? We teach it from geometrics, chemistry, scientifically, in terms of we teach the whole gamut, right? Math, shapes, pattern, and all of that. You know, and maybe King Lolo, maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to do better, right? And we purposely teach that just the fact that your hair grows coily out of your head, length is not part of your biology. Let me say that again. Length going towards the floor. Y'all stop pulling it this way. It does not do that naturally. Height, mass, volume, weight. That's all an Afrocentric descending human being gets. You do not get length. You get weight It may fall, it get heavy, but this hair here and this hair here is the only thing that is going to go in that direction.
Yeah, and that's you start stretching it.
Science.
When you stretch it,
we're not trace it out. I mean, because
you're gonna see it, right? But we're not trying to dumb it down. We just want you guys to relax. Main moves. I'm loving your comments, girl. Keep them coming. Guy. You can't blame them. Hair care professionals need to get on social media and also create access to education for the community. No need for a divide. We are all in this together. There is a community that's specific.
And I do want to ask a question. This is another thing, and I want to make sure that you guys hear me. I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. So is Key Lolo. This is what we do. And I want you guys to really understand this. If you guys don't understand anything from this podcast, my job is to correct, even in the midst of ignorance. And so I want you guys to be able to receive it. And I don't understand. I really don't understand the divide question. I get that question all the time. What, if anyone can answer that question, it's almost like the moment you tell the truth and you correct. And that's one of the things that I don't know, Dick Gregory or someone said that one of the things about us ascertaining higher in knowledge, that we get a little cagey about it, or we get a little weird about it, because at the end of the day, I don't know, sometimes we want to feel some kind of way in getting and receiving additional information, but for somehow we're very hard to correct. Especially,
so you want them to explain the divide? Is that
I get that all the time.
Yeah, we do. We hear that there is a divide. I don't think that there is a divide, because if you're a professional, you're a professional. We have it's a title now in the state. Now all states don't have the natural hairstylist title, but they are titles, and I don't see it as a divide. What we're speaking about is the incorrect information. And
I just don't want to have any pride in the ignorance.
Okay, yeah. So let's see.
Makes mistakes.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Can you guys, if you have a comment about the divide, we want to hear. Cheryl and I would like to know what do we mean by divide. I don't see a divide. The complaint that I have is the misinformation that's being pushed, and social media is where we can come to learn to where to go and get the education. You can't get it on social media because a lot of this information is in lecture style. So you're not going to be able to sit on a YouTube channel. This is not the place to have that type of a learning moment, a teachable moment. Would you say that, Cheryl, to those people who say, "Can we do this?"
Huh?
Oh, let me put that back up.
No, just take the Achilles heel down.
Oh, take that down. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me take it down. Okay, go ahead, Cheryl. Take it away while I take that down.
Okay. Well, what was the question?
The question was in that divide is that we see the professionalism is all across the board, whether you are licensed or not. It's just about being professionalism. The divide is in the information, and I don't think social media is where the access can be. You have to go to school because the information is not. It's lecture style. The way you have to sit and learn, you can't really get that on social media. Can you speak to that? Because people do kind of feel like some of this could be on social media. I don't think any of the Afro hair science information should be on social media, no more than your doctor does the surgery. We don't know that either.
But I'm very clear on the fact that, and I am feeling the main moves last comment. But here's the thing: you cannot keep your present state of affairs in place while trying to elevate to another state. of awareness and consciousness. You have to give that up. And one of the things that I tell you that when we are even in private learning environments to where only Black thought and Black embarrassment or whatever the case, because you don't have to, because if something's never been taught, you don't have to be embarrassed about knowing it. But there is a cultural aesthetic to Black learning. We have sort of a pride in ignorance.
Mm-hmm. And the dumbasses are for the people who are intentionally. We have people who authentically don't know. Like me, I was totally ignorant to that water was the enemy of Afro hair. I was totally ignorant to hair didn't absorb. I was totally ignorant to a lot of stuff. I was legitimately ignorant. But there are people who know better, and they are deliberately pushing bad information, like the whole damaged hair thing, and your hair is bad, and all this other, if it your ends or protective styles. There are people who know that they have no business talking like that. Those are the dumbasses, not the people who don't know. So I want to make that clear. I'm not trying. Thank you, Trish, for helping the sister out. I want y'all to know I'm not trying to. I'm talking about you know who you are. Shame, 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 shame on you, dumbass. Stop that, because you're hurting people.
Well. Here's the thing: hair, and in conjunction with Black culture, being Black, for some reason, hair is something we do not believe is scientific, and we think the mere fact of being Black, we know something about it. We think the more we technically work with it, that we are scientifically working with it. When we do not know, we believe if we are close to cultural knowledge, historical references, tribal information, ethnic information, that is enough to serve us to get ourselves out of a biological chemical dilemma. So we know that our cultural information is not adequate to get us out of a pH issue, or to get us out of a disorder or condition or a bad color, that we need to start using now science and chemistry. And so what we were saying is that when you do not know, because once people sit with me in a consultation or sit with you, Kilolo, I am going to take them very carefully and make sure that at the end of the day, like I say, I believe that they know most of what I could possibly teach them. And that's why we talk to each other the way we do. I ask questions and then another question, and then you end up answering your own question.
And I hate when she does that, because it's in there. What did you teach me?
What do I say all the time? I say you know it, you just don't know you know it, because it's not presented in a way that can ping and resonate your Afro consciousness. You can't pull the information.
Right. And here's the other thing too, to the people, because we got main moves saying, I'm not sure if they don't know. They may believe they know the truth, okay? And then Trish comes in, but there are people who don't know better and need education and may be open to it. So let's curve the language is all I'm saying. Y'all professionals, you don't have to use insults. Absolutely correct. What we're saying is...
I just want to be clear, okay?
Right,
be clear. No,
go ahead.
Let's be clear, okay? At the end of the day, there is a way, because I don't really care about anyone policing the way I say things, and you're not going to police me, okay? What I am saying to you, if it does not apply, Miss Trish, don't put it on.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. We're speaking. You know who you are.
Yeah, you do. I know everybody watches me.
Right? Yeah. We know y'all know who you guys are. We're speaking to the people who come
Absolutely.
and they encroach and they play on people's
Absolutely.
ignorance. You got to speak to those people. So we're not talking to the Trisha. Anybody in this chat, y'all rocking with us. We're not talking to y'all.
Right.
Well, we got, you got to tell the truth to shame the devil. That's one.
Right.
Two, if you're sitting in those spaces and you're not going to school, to a class, you're not having a mentor or someone or some entity to hold you accountable to raise the bar on a yearly basis, get your ass out the industry now. Because the consumer is demanding. People are tired of paying for something called a silk press and wants to know what's the difference between the flat iron. You tell me. Somebody got to speak to that. Now, we ain't talking about you got to sell it. Now, if you want to sell something, you cut the hair come out silky, that's your business. We're not talking about that. But to really lie and make people think something, stop it. You're talking about a protective hairstyle. Stop it. Now, if you want to say protect yourself and keep your fingers out of it, that's on you. You can call it whatever you want. We're talking about the people who are literally exploiting people and their money with something that will never, ever be the truth. And they're making licensed people who know, and maybe they're afraid. They can't stand up to some of those people with a million followers. We can. We don't have a million followers here.
And let me just say this. And at the end of the day, people pay me a lot of money to tell them the truth. And let me just say this. It broke my heart for my young people to have to be defeated in court and embarrassed and to be able to get in trouble or their hair comes out. Something happens because I hold a high standard to my professionals.
Mm-hmm.
High standard. And at the end of the day, if it does not apply to you, do not respond. Do not be offended. And because my goal is for who it does apply, be offended. Because at the end of the day, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I take it very serious. This is my background. This is my childhood. This is all I know. And I'm not going to tolerate people who know they don't know to say things that is going to harm my men, women, and children.
And we see this. We see this not in just hair salons, lacticians. That's why I said we are all in it together. And you said, have we ever had private conversations with stylists who cause harm? Would you be open to that? Oh, yes. And they've had it with me. Oh, hold on now. Y'all know Kilolo done been checked 1,000 times. I done turned some hair green. Good Lord. Oh my God. I done did something with the relaxer. Oh my God. I've been taken to court. I've won. But yes, I am held, not just by my own people within the industry, but these things do happen. Companies hold us accountable. I'm a Formisi certified master colorist. If I say things and do things that's out of order, yeah, they're going to hold me accountable. But I don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I put myself in those situations where I can, because in the beginning, you don't know. You know, you're out there, you just can't, but you have a responsibility as a professional to do these things. This podcast, the dumbest shit that people say about Black hair, we had to do it because it's the consumer that needs the protection.
Well,
it's the children.
One thing I will not do, and I have been in this situation many times, I do not correct my peers in public.
Mm-hmm.
I will not do that. I will
JD Vance here.
I will be on stage, or we will be on a panel, or we will be somewhere that I think it's inappropriate to have the conversations with certain people, with my professionals and natural hair provider. I will not. If you are in the profession, we will not have that. We will have a private conversation. Mm-hmm. I think that I have earned the trust of of my peers to have private conversations. And because at the end of the day, me and Kilolo, we even taken a pact. I want my people to be rich. I want you to eat first. I want you to have the lion's share first, second, and third. And whatever is left, we work too hard. Our ancestors, we, once again, are heirs. We do not let others sit at the table and eat. That should not be there. Now, what I'm saying to you is that Lolo can call me she's called me sis, you can't say, boom, 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 whatever. But if we are professionals and we want to, our first oath was consumer protection. And one of the most dangerous weapons we have is the shit we say. Because somebody's going to take it to heart, and somebody's going to take it home, and somebody's going to spend their money with that mistake, and somebody's going to be thinking, and these women and men and our men and women and children go to school and church and jobs and work. They want their face and hair and everything looking good. And that is my client, and that's how we should feel about it.
And when people are not doing that in good faith, you can, like you said, you could be wrong. The insults, they need to have them, and they can't because that's par for the course. If you are in a restaurant, wherever, I don't care, and somebody's selling you a whole bunch of bogus crap, you're not going to take it. If you ask for some lobster bisque soup and there's no lobster in the soup, nah. No, you're going to have a problem with that. Where is the lobster? So the divide is those people who are ripping off the consumer and taking money from professionals selling crap. Get out the industry. You can't be sitting here and making matters worse. And no, I agree with Cheryl. We should not call them, and we don't do it on this platform. We would never do that. But we got to say it, that those of you who are doing that, stop it. And this platform, we're calling out the information. We've not said one name. We've not named one business. We'll never do that. We're talking about the information, not.
Let me say this. After all the teaching that my foremothers and forefathers have done to this point, I'm insulted by the ignorance. So at the end of the day, for me to crack open, as Mr. Dudley did Errol Crockett, and George Johnson had cracked open Joe Dudley's head, and S.B. Fuller has cracked open heads before that. Marjorie Jordan had cracked Mr. Morrow's head, and George Washington Carver cracked Austin Curtis's head, and Olive Benson had cracked Ladosha's head.
I'd have got cracked, baby.
Rudy Townsend had cracked my head open for doing dumb shit. At the end of the day, it was love. And I'm so glad that they did that. Because I can now say it to you with the same love. Because at the end, I'm insulted by the ignorance because it says I did not do something. And it's just more of what I have to do. So say what you will. That's fine. But I will not leave you ignorant. That is not acceptable. Because they didn't leave me ignorant. They cracked me on the head. A mentor does not care about your personality. Because at the end of the day, they have to make sure that when they're not here, that you know the way to go. Right. And we don't, our jet's waiting outside. We don't have this. We don't have that kind of time. And hey, I love this industry, and this is all I know. And I sit between white folks, Koreans, Asians, and Hispanics, and the whole nine. But I will not ever, ever, ever tolerate a Black person being ignorant about their essence.
And especially when we think about how and everybody's brought up differently, but you can call me like, living in La La Land, but I truly believe that every African American's parents, whatever generation, the best they could with what they had. Their goal was for us to be excellent as a standard. And growing up, I used to feel all of these comments in the chat when people would come down on me. Because I knew they were speaking to me, and I knew, and I didn't understand it. But I would tell you this, and I've said it once and I'll say it again.
All right.
When I went to Africa, it all made sense. Excellence is our norm, guys.
Yeah.
No excuses. We're not saying don't make mistakes. We're not saying don't tell lies. Don't I've charged people too much. I've done all of that. I have done it. I have said it. But when I was caught on the carpet, or if I knew what I was doing was wrong and I was looking for an answer. Yes. I knew the moment the company told me that a conditioner went deep, I knew it was a lie. I knew it was a lie. Mm-hmm. And I am called out in the industry as the craziest MF. Nobody, I get that. But we have to deal with these people in real life. We know our truth. So the goal is not to insult the person, it's to insult the information. If the person is attached to it and using it, they're insulted you'll be, because you need to stop. I needed to stop. Cheryl needed to stop. And I can recall the day when I was learning to color hair, and I asked Veronica Mercadante, the owner of today's headline. She was teaching me how to color. And I just had one question after she had been spending months and years, months and months, because I wasn't there that long, months, teaching me how to color hair. She said, if you ask me a question after I teach you, you're going to lose your ticket. I got you. So I was on it, but I had one question, and I said, when I make this formula, don't blue neutralize orange? And she said, yes, like violet doesn't want to cancel, want to refine. And she said, yes. At the end, that was my biggest ticket ever. I wish my girl was in the chat now. She would say this is true. She took my whole ticket. She took the whole ticket. I got 2 kids at home. I quit my job. That was the money to pay for my kids' football camp. I lost the whole ticket. Why? Because I didn't do what the F she asked me to do. Pay attention when somebody teaches you something and stop acting what? Stupid. Mm-hmm. You know, you had 1,000 ways to get the answer, but you always looking for the easy way out. So you know what? You gonna get got. Now, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't choose that route. But like Cheryl said, hey, she had to split my dome. The sting that stung Yamaguchi Fu Young. I bet you I'm one of Cleveland's top colorists. So it hurt me, and I cried, and I couldn't afford for my kids to go to football camp and everything else.
But you remembered it. And
I remembered
that's what great mentors do.
I tried to pull the race card on her. Oh, Italian people don't like black people. I was doing everything. And she was like this, counting that money. You could say whatever you want to say, Negro. I tried everything I could to make her feel bad. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You lost the money.
Because one day they will not be here.
No. And I don't know where she's at today, but I love her. If I ever saw her, I would just get down on one knee and thank you, Veronica Mercadante, wherever you at today. Thank you. Little Italian one, my coldest teacher, Rachel Marola. I tell y'all who all the people who taught me. Nuccio Basilisco. It all just so happened they all Italians, but don't mess with them Italians if you're gonna be educated, because they not gonna be nice to you.
Nope.
They're not gonna be nice. So we hope you guys enjoyed it.
Love you.
We're telling you guys the whole synthetic hair linked to cancer. We hope y'all worked it all the way around and realize.
Ask better questions based on intellect, data, soundness, breadth, critical analysis, critical thinking. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Some folks are ignorant because they have not been exposed to the truth, and they have only heard one side of view or one point of view. That's right. And if they have a responsibility to get out of that. You can't stay sitting there. You know that information is available. It is your job to go out there.
You are more than welcome to email us.
We say it all the time. I don't get the email. I say email us. We say come to the Afro Hair Science. We're doing our part, and when people invite us, yes, we go. And yes, we do.
How many hours were we on the phone when we first met? How many hours?
Oh my gosh, forever.
Man, fussing it out.
And I cried so hard. You can see, if you go through some of my videos, you will see the pseudo. You will see the growth in me from when I first started this channel before Cheryl to afterwards. So I am not above anything that you guys are saying, because this is why we have this podcast. The dumbest shit that people say about black hair. I've been guilty of it myself, but we can't stay there. Have we all read the Consumer article with the research findings about what he found? Yes, I did. I did read it, and it seemed to be more of an investigation than it was actual research, but I'm not a researcher, so that's just my opinion, and I don't have a PhD, but it looked more like an investigation. So somebody actually looked into...
Right. It was akin to consumption, because researchers are not doctors, so they can't give you the pathways of how they make your cells and corrupt and damage your DNA in the cell.
Right. So that's why I said it's an opinion to me, but
it's correlated if in consuming it orally or inhaling it in your mucous membrane.
Yeah, they're not actually getting
exposure, right?
Yeah, they're not actually getting real people and say, let's get a, you know how that go. But here's what this young man had to say as we wrap this up. Here we go.
All right, let's dissect Consumer Reports' findings that synthetic braiding hair contains carcinogens, because people are already jumping to conspiracy theories. So they tested 10 different products for the presence of heavy metals as well as volatile organic compounds, VOCs. The brands are in the left-hand corner, including Darling, Debut, and Sensational. And they tested each product twice, which is why you see duplicates of each one. And they concluded that all 10 products contained levels of lead that exceeded the maximum allowable dose level, as set by California, because there is no national level for this. However, the MADL they went off of is for drinking water, which is only based off of oral exposure, not dermal exposure. So I emailed them asking why did they base the exposure limit off of oral exposure, not dermal exposure, because you're not eating your braids. And part of the reason they went with the oral exposure model is because of the likelihood of braiders coming in contact with the braid by eating food after braiding somebody's hair and not washing their hands, or little kids with braided hair putting the braids in their mouth. And while I understand why they went with that model, I don't agree with it, because again, you're not intentionally ingesting braids. Any contact with the mouth is incidental. Plus, the limit for lead allowed in lipstick is 5 ppm, while none of the lead concentrations in the tested braid samples exceeded 0.2 ppm. And you're much more likely to ingest lead via lipstick than you are via...
Are you guys following it? So that's why, to me, I said it's more like an opinion, like they investigated and found something than what we know as when we think of research. And that he was out. I would put his link. I reached out to that gentleman too to see if he would be willing to come on to the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. He's got a real nice TikTok. So I did reach out to both people. So we are trying, guys, so that we can have a well-rounded. This particular podcast is not for that. We would have to bring them over to the Planet Pluto Pseudo, but I did reach out to Mr. James Rogers, and I reached out to that gentleman because, like you said, that was a good point. And so we thank you guys for rocking it out and keeping it 100 with us about our tone and to get this information out. But we make no apologies. We are not offending anybody. It's the information that we just are really offended by. And so, but we're going to keep doing our job, and we hope that you guys will continue to rock it out with us. We'll come back because we did digress, because this topic really irritates irritated me to no end. Cheryl was like, girl, bye. I was like, no, we have to do this. We have to. And then Cheryl saw some more. She said, yes, we must do this. But we could not do it without everybody here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. We appreciate you guys very, 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 very much. And so Carolyn 746, we appreciate you because she said you got to be educated on what you're doing. Yes. And she says she's a hair loss specialist and she's also a stylist. So people who do this know that we're definitely, we ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. You know what I'm saying, Cheryl?
And let me just say this, and you guys are more than welcome to meet us on Thursday, because we're gonna have Dr. Joy, and we can deal with some of the toxicity that we are exposed to with our own very diets.
Right. And if you are a licensed professional, please go over to Instagram and follow BUOR on Instagram. That's Beauty Under One Roof. They are going to host their boutique hair expo, and Cheryl and I went to it. It's a small, intimate. Cheryl's going to do Afro hair science. We met wonderful. I learned a lot as well. So that's something we'll ask her to give us some information so we can keep that up. We didn't think we had a lot of licensed professionals over here, but we do. And so we can ask Erica. Maybe we can have Erica come back over here and help us out. Okay. So we'll have Erica come over and help us talk about being offensive. Okay. How's that? I think Erica can get us together.
Okay. And we're going to be on the inflammation this Thursday.
Oh, inflammation is going to be with Dr. Joy this Thursday. So get ready to join us. Thank you guys so very much. And you know what we say when we are signing out. We write this for 2 hours. Y'all was not playing around with us today.
I was not playing today.
All right. We love y'all so much. All right. Okay. What we say we're signing out. We're talking about a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and for sure a whole lot of hair. But remember, check this out. If you ain't got none, don't want none, can't grow it, hair don't matter, you plan on cutting it off. You know what we say? Don't worry about any of that. Why? Because bald heads are beautiful too, and so are you. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you Thursday at 9 p.m. with Dr. Joy, the official wellness and nutrition expert here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. That's it, Cheryl. You got it? All right. We love you guys. Okay. I love you too, babe. Deuces. Cheryl, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam. He or she said, cancel this damn song. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming, get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
It was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your birthday. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.